Spurs have worse alley-oop passing. Keldon almost killed Dom. I think Jabari Smith got in the middle of that one, right? I'm pretty sure that was who got in the middle of that one. So it wasn't necessarily a bad pass. They just blocked it. All right, let's take a look at Devin Vassell and see what he had to say. I saw this one too, so this isn't necessarily a live react, but I had it playing in the background. So wait a minute. Mitch Johnson talked? I don't know if it's worth it. All right, let's listen.
I mean, my teammates are finding me, like I say all the time. Like, coaches have a lot of trust in me, a lot of confidence in me. I mean, KJ found me a couple times, Vic, Zach, Jeremy. So, I mean, it's not just me. They're finding me, and I just got to be ready to shoot.
When you start off hitting a deep one.
Mitch talked before the game? Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw in there 4 hours, so.
Does that just get your confidence flowing from there?
Yeah, I mean, I think once I start shooting those, I mean, it just opens up everything. I can get to the lane, kind of just everything opens up, and then they got to come out to me. Everybody else is open. There's a couple of times where we just got to watch on film where they're trailing me a lot or they're trying to show a lot of attention to me. People got to just realize that and keep it themselves and, you know, just make plays for themselves, too.
Do you think because of your attention being paid to Vic, you get better opportunities right now?
I mean, 100%. I mean, he opens the floor for a lot of us. I keep talking to him about us just trying to make the game easier for him.
The problem with press conferences, dude, is like when you have to do them every single game, there's not many like good questions to ask. Like I'm not even mad at the interviewers here. Like I don't even know what I would ask. What's there to ask? I mean, unless you're talking about very specific plays, I think that will be interesting. Or if you're talking about like dynamic off the court, I think that will be interesting. That will give us some more information. Or if you ask like, hey, you know, I don't know, you probably wouldn't ask this, but like, who's your best friend on the team? Like, what do you guys usually do in your off time? Like, that's stuff that's interesting because in the game, this is the same stuff that we saw the last games. There's nothing to really ask Devin. There's nothing. He's just answering the same question again.
And making the game easier for us. So, I mean, we're going to be in conversations all the time about it, but the presence that he has on the court, I mean, you got to be aware. You got to send a double or it's going to be a bucket every time.
So this starting lineup tonight will be the starting lineup on opening night. You guys feel you can kind of surprise people with the big lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're a lot more engaged on the defensive end. I think that's one thing right now that I think you see night and day. I mean, I know it's only preseason, but I think we're all more engaged and just wanting to play defense. And I mean, we're trying to win. So at the end of the day, we're trying to do everything that it takes to win. So it's a great lineup out there. You know, it's our first real game together. I guess you could say preseason real game together, and we just got to keep building.
Just to ask I know you don't have the quote unquote sort of the true point guard, but it seems like all of y'all are doing some playmaking. Is that something y'all are purposely trying to do a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need really a true point guard. Like you said, everybody brings the ball up the court. If you find an open guy, get it to the open guy. And a lot of times we're just moving on offense. We're just trying to find the right shot. So
yeah, see, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the whole idea, do you need a true point guard? I don't think you need like a true point guard, like traditional point guard by any means. What you do need is maybe a heliocentric player that is star caliber. And I think that would be deadly. Like we talked about in the chat earlier, Luka Doncic is a primary example of something like that, right? I think that that's something that you would need in the future. But as far as needing a like traditional point guard, or those days are kind of over, especially if you look at teams that are top tier teams, the teams that you're seeing in the finals or deep into the playoffs. They have the exact same setup. Like who's your primary point guard for the Celtics? I guess you can say Derek, but Derek isn't always bringing the ball up the court. It's Derek, Marcus Smart. You'll see Jason Tatum do it. If you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, you got Ja, now Derrick Rose. You've seen Baines do it. You've seen David Roddy the Body do it. So I mean, it's so many different players that can do that. You don't necessarily need a traditional. But yeah, Curry and Green kind of killed the true point guard play. Yeah. More teams are going in the direction of you have multitude of players that can bring the ball down the court and initiate the offense. And I think the Spurs noticed that, and they're going in that direction. So, man, and that's so funny because people always say like, oh, the Spurs are so old school, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they were kind of forced into being old school when you have DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge on your squad. Like, their games is just tailored to that. And no matter what you try to do, they're so far along in their career, it's going to be hard for you to adjust and make them a modern day player. Like there's nothing you can do with that. And I think that the Spurs have shown over the years that they're willing to adjust to what the NBA becomes. Same thing when they try to make Luka Samanic into something, right? Like they knew, hey, these unicorn type players, these are the type of players that you want on your team. They know what they're doing. So
you don't need anybody just bringing it up and getting one set. But I think Jeremy's adjusted really well with bringing the ball up and, just getting us into our sets.
Victor obviously is a rookie. Like any rookie, is he going to have to learn and adjust how he's going to be officiated? What's called?
For sure, it's going to take him some time. I mean, he's going to make great plays, amazing plays all the time. But I mean, like you said, he's still a rookie. He's going to have his ups and downs, and we got to have his back through it all. So we're here for him. He knows that, and he just got to stay confident through this whole thing.
I guess the reverse of that, do you feel like officials are going to have to learn how to officiate?
For sure, I think that him shooting, a lot of times people get under him, and that's going to be a big emphasis. They can't just land under him, and I try to tell him a lot of times if he doesn't shoot a fadeaway, he's damn near at the free throw line every time. So he'll learn the game. I think the game will slow down for him, and there's going to be times where in the bonus with 9 minutes left because it's just him just doing regular stuff like that,
You've been vocal about having killed him out on the court. How has that been? How has it changed?
he also tailors himself to like younger players because I don't know. I know we talked about this before, but like kind of like the highlight culture. As far as like a lot of players are trying to be a highlight on ESPN, but I think the reversal is there too. You don't want to be on the other end of a Wemby highlight, right? So I think that younger players really freak out when Wemby's on the court, and they kind of overcompensate for the fact that Wemby's out there. So I think that he's going to be able to take advantage of that as well.
Big body. That's my dog for sure. I think it's just going to be an adjustment for everybody. I mean, today I was hitting. Next game it could be him. Next game it could be Vic. I mean, whatever the case may be, we all just got to feed off each other. I mean, we're not selfish on this team. We're not all just trying to be like, I'm trying to lead score. And like, it's never the case like that. So I think him coming out here, if you see how he's moving on defense and just him being disruptive on defense right now, is night and day from last year. And that's the stuff that we need. It doesn't matter about who scores.
True. His defense has improved. I'll allow some games to go by before I say a definitive statement. But I will say right now, I've been wrong about Keldon's defense. I didn't think that it would improve that much. I thought that it'd be more so improved because of Wemby. But I will say last game when Wemby didn't play, his defense did look better. So there's that.
Some amount of points or whatever it is, it's just a matter of us winning.
Thanks, Dev. Appreciate you guys.
Good stuff. Nice stuff. Great stuff. 25 and 25. What? He didn't go 25 for 25. I don't know what you mean by that. Guys, I got to talk to you about something, okay? Can I talk to you about something really quick? It's really important. It's really important. I got to bring something up to you guys. All right? You listening? You guys listening? Bet US. Let's talk about Bet US. So big shout out to them for sponsoring this video and actually sponsoring the channel for the season. Means the absolute world to me. And if you guys are interested in doing any type of bets, all you have to do is follow the link in my description. You will get 125% bonus. What does that mean? If you put in $100, you will get a free $125 to play with, and that goes for any amount that you put in essentially. So one thing that I wanted to bring up is the basketball section. So I found that this was really interesting. One thing in particular, okay, all this is cool as far as 6 man of the year, betting on that, clutch player of the year, rookie of the year, all that's great. But Wemby's, so if you go to NBA special and you go to Wemby, they have so many different scenarios here. So will he be over or under 17.5 points? It's so funny because I ended up posting something recently where I said, is he going to be over or under 22 points? And there was like 60% of you guys were like, yeah, he's going to be over 22. So he would definitely, it would be like 100% saying he's going to be over 17. I don't know how people would feel after this last game, but hey, it is what it is. And if you guys want to know how to do it, you just click on the money line here, and the risk, I think for minus 165, you can only put 25 and you will get 15 if you win that in particular. So anyways, just wanted to bring that to your attention. They are very reliable, great stuff, and big shout out to them for supporting the channel like they have. Great stuff. I really appreciate the love. I really do. I truly